Hey guys, this is me. This is going to be my first little swing at a sort of production Q&A thing for the Patreon thing. These are not going to be fancy. It's just going to be me talking, because this is supposed to be sort of like how I would handle myself on stream, where I can actually just go quiet and just do shit, just because I feel like doing it. Gonna try to do like some Q&A stuff, I guess. If you have any ideas, you know, just give it a swing. Since this will be private, then just, you know, if you got questions and stuff, just leave it in the comments. Well, it's not going to be private, it's going to be unlisted. So in theory, someone could still, you know, like, you know, leave a comment or something, but it's not a big deal. But, you know, just leave your comments, questions, ideas like that in the comments below. I'll pick up on it and I'll run with it. Right now I'm doing a little thing for, I'm doing the commission for Jonathan Coley, I believe, if I'm saying that correctly. Finishing it up on his Elena, is that how you say her name? I don't know. But on her commission. I guess I'll answer a few questions. I have a huge backlog of questions that I could be, that I keep meaning to get around to doing another Q&A video. I have some footage recorded for it, but they're actually they have quite a bit of production time. You know, you wouldn't think that, but they do. Anyways, I thought I'd read off a few of the older questions, just to give you guys an idea. Some of these might actually be yours, I have no idea, but I'll just read these off, answer them while I'm continuing to draw here. This is live commentary, by the way, and man, it is fucking hot right now. Anyways, let's see. Let me look over to the side. What do we got here? What would my stand be? I think I've already answered that one, because I have no idea what a stand is. And I think I said I would just involve penises or something. I'm not sure if this has been asked already, but for your animations, do you use tweening with some frame-by-frame sprinkled in when it's needed, or strictly frame-by-frame? Well, of course, it should go without saying usually, but everything is usually tweened. Of course, I have to... It's kind of weird, because most people, whenever they tween animations, what they're doing is they will make one static drawing, and then they will just they will puppet it for the entire length of the animation. I obviously don't do that because, you know, perspectives are always changing and shit like that. So what I do is I will usually draw a shit ton of different unique things during the course of the animation, and I will tween those. And specifically for like big transitions, everything of course has to be frame by frame, and I'll do individual little elements for those. And is that gonna work? Yeah, it'll work fine. I will do a transition for that specifically, and then after that, you know, it'll, you know, it transitions well, then I'll use it that way. Otherwise, I'll have to get a bit more complicated. Sometimes I'll use like morphing layers and stuff, like the Call of Duty animation that I did. Whenever Kojima is doing his slow pan-up shot of him coming to the realization of how great this dog's speech is, that was done... That was really painstaking. I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to pull it off or not. It was very painstaking. I had to use, of course, a bunch of tweening layers, and I had to use morphing quite a bit, which allowed me to, like, I had the mouth set onto a specific layer, and the teeth, and the tongue, and, like, one lip and the other, and I had some extra layers set up for the line work of the lips, so that I could tween that without having to worry too much about anything else. Really big clusterfuck. One of those things, once I do the animation thing, then I'll be able to show you guys some more straightforward examples of it. Okay, let's see. What's the other question they got here? Gatherers. A lot of these are... People ask the same questions all the time, so I always have to remember what exactly I've been doing here. Hello, I just started to use a PC to produce art, but I'm not used to shading yet. Do you have any tips that I can use before I have the overwhelming realization that I'm fucking terrible? I use Manga Studio 5. I know it's some niche-ass shit, but it's okay. First tip, don't use that program, I guess. I've never heard of it. I'm sure it can't be amazing. Maybe it is, I don't know. First step, starting it, don't overwhelm yourself, probably. I mean, you can look at, like, even like this shit, this is the greatest thing in the world or anything. But, you know, obviously you're not going to be doing any sort of mid-level or even high-level stuff right off the bat. So, you know, don't just start swinging for the fences whenever you first get out of the gate, you know? Just enjoy yourself. Even now, like, I'm still really bothers the shit out of me how much further I have to go to get to the point where I'm actually kind of more happy with the things that I'm producing. But I have small successes. Like, I'm just enjoying improving things. Just getting better on very small levels. That's what you need to do. As far as shading goes, meh. Work to your own layer, I guess. Work to one layer, merge down, that sort of thing. Just play it safe for a while. Otherwise, you're probably going to kill yourself with the effort. Let's see. What else do we got here? What type of drawing tablet you use, and how long did it take you to get used to it? I've already answered that, but this is an Intuos 4? Is it? Where's the damn thing? PTK 640? I guess it's an Intuos 4. Yeah, okay, yeah. Intuos 4. Alright. I knew that's what it was, but I couldn't find it. Intuos 4. It took... Well, I'll answer it this way. The very first tablet I got was just a shitty little bitty Wacom. It took me quite a long time to get used to it. Before that, I was drawing with a mouse, which sounds insane, and it is insane. I would not recommend doing it. I could do it, but it is a pain in the ass. Like, even if I could do it right now. Like, see, you have no control over anything. Like, this is just as hard of a stroke as I can make. Not a good idea. Whereas if I use a tablet, I can just sort of very lightly. I have so much more control. Don't try to get into drawing digitally using a mouse. It won't work. It took quite a bit of time to get used to everything. And a lot of that is like tablet settings were driving me crazy. I wasn't used to that. Brush settings. It's going to be years and years and years before you feel like you are completely comfortable using it. And don't let that depress you too much. I mean, look at it this way. Like I said, you need to enjoy yourself. If you aren't enjoying yourself, like if you get into drawing, it's like learning to play music or something, I guess. Like I can't learn to play music because I want to pick up the guitar and strum some things and be like, oh no, I'm good enough to enjoy it now. And it's the same thing with drawing. You can get to the point where with drawing, it's hard to learn whenever you're not enjoying anything that you're producing. That's why it's good to start with something like humor or, you know, just stupid little pictures. Because then you don't have to swing for the fences. You don't have to worry too much about the fact that you're not amazing in every single way. You can just draw something idiotic and take great enjoyment just from that. Let's see. What's another question? I've already answered that. There's more mashup. I get so many mashup questions. So many of these Trifusions. A lot of these are just, you are amazing. Please insert your penis into one of my holes. What are my opinions on Half-Life? I think I answered that one, actually. I like Half-Life. Well, I did up until they never released the third chapter. I really enjoyed the fact that they were supposed to do this amazing, we're going to revolutionize how we release content, and then they gave up on it completely and realized how stupid it was. Let's see. What's my opinion on Berserk? I don't have an opinion because I don't think I've ever watched it or read it. It's one of those things I promised myself to eventually get around to doing. Did I used to play any sports? These are questions I already answered. Yeah, I used to play basketball. What's my inspiration behind animating? Don't really have any. I'm not a big hero person. Like, I don't have heroes. I don't have favorite bands. I don't have favorite writers. I just enjoy specific things. It's a little bit too bright. Let's tone this down some. Beyond that, that's kind of it. Inspiration, I don't know. I see individual things and I'm like, oh, that is so good. I wish I could do that. Like, just even things on YouTube. I'm not going to say the first thing that comes to mind, but there's all sorts of little bitty examples of just small-time artists that are just making cute little things, and I think, oh, that's so good. How come I can't do something like that? And a lot of it is just the work. Like, they put months of effort into these individual animations, and there's no way that I can do that. I mean, I guess I could now, but it means I wouldn't really be releasing content on the rate that I would want to, or need to, considering that it has to be monthly now. Let's see. I'll answer this, why not? What's your whole deal with feminism in games? Doesn't it fucking suck? Maybe it's just their personal fetish, but what if Samus Aran actually weighed 200 pounds? Bull shoes, and the whole game series was just her compensating for being a man-ass character. Feminism in games, I obviously picked that out because of the whole bullshit that's been going on now. With What's-Her-Face, I can't remember. I don't really care about that. But it is kind of a cute little side thing. Of course, I've spoken about empowering female characters, empowering characters in general in games, in writing specifically, actually. Before, with any sort of social issue, a lot of the times, the people that are pushing certain things, it's all political. Like, there's a real issue, then there's the fake issue that people like to sort of... they're out-sharpening it, I'll say it that way. Where they are making... It's more for them than it is for anyone else. There's quite a few, I guess, strong female video game characters. But I guess it never hurts to have more of them. I mean, I don't take feminism, I guess, too seriously. But at the same time, you know, it's good to have everyone equally represented, I guess. You don't want to shit up the industry with a bunch of, you know, male posturing characters that are, you know, big, beefy, beefcake beard man, and that's all it is. You know, I don't want that. You know, that fucking sucks. The more representation we get, the more, even if you don't like something, I kind of straying off on a little tangent here, but even if you don't like something, it's good to experience it. Like right now, I'm thinking about a Facebook question that I got recently, like in the past day or so. Someone saying that they decided to take up an art class, but were not very happy in the class. They weren't enjoying any of the projects. Should I drop out? Blah, blah, blah. And my answer was no. Don't do that, because even if it's an experience that you should have. Like, you don't have to enjoy everything. It's good for you to experience things that are out of the realm... Oh, goodness. Out of the realm of your preferences, or out of the realm of your comfort zone and things like that. Because then you learn more about yourself, what you like. You learn more about other people. And you expand the realm of your understanding the world and so on. That's good for you. You know, it's good to expand in all directions. So in that sense, you know, as far as having representation of everyone in games, that's good. You know, I may not necessarily empathize with certain characters, I guess. I mean, I'm fine with female characters. But, like, you know, if you're doing, like, a transgender demi-wolf man thing, you know, Tumblr stuff, and there's a video game about that, you know, I might still play it just to kind of see what's going on. I can kind of guarantee I'm going to look at it and go, I have no idea what world this is, because it's just completely separated from the world that I live in. But it still would be good for me to have that knowledge, I guess. Even if later I was like, man, that was weird. It's still fine. It is still fine. So I guess that's kind of my perspective on all things like that. I really don't give a shit what people do with their time or anything like that. If it's new and interesting, I'll look into it. That's my opinion on it. Can I request? No, you can't. Because I'm definitely busy now. Let's see. A lot of these are just so odd. They don't really go much of anywhere. Can I request? Again, no. Why are there so many of these? Oh, Cranky asked me something. I didn't notice this. Out of morbid curiosity, how long does it generally take you to draw something? You know, taking into account whether or not you're doing fleck colors or full details and the like. I might have actually already answered this on Tumblr one time. I can't remember. Although if I did, it should have already removed it. But it depends. Like this drawing that I'm doing now. By the way, all of the color drawings probably are not going to be this elaborate. It's just that I had also been meaning to try something new, like a new technique for drawing, and I decided just to use this one as an experiment. So this is probably going to be a bit of an aberration. But this one, for example, took me probably, I don't know what, it's been 2 days. Probably about 8-9 hours, maybe. Maybe up to 12. I really can't remember. But, normally like a, hold on, actually. Did I? No, okay. Damn it. I don't have it on its own line. Like the line work, just the line work itself, that would, like the planning. Oh, actually, hold on, let's do this. Like the primary, this little bitty primary. Even that probably took me about, I don't know. How long did it take? Probably about 3 or 4 hours, actually, just to get the planning down. Or, no, this one I guess was probably more like 2 hours, maybe 1 or 2 hours. But it kind of depends. It kind of just depends on how complicated the whole image is going to end up being. Like, if I really went all out and tried to make like a hyper-realistic looking drawing, that would involve all sorts of shit like gridding off things and using photographs as reference material, and it would just become a whole thing. And that would probably take weeks. Something like this, of course, is just taking a few hours. Well, a few hours, more like 2 days, 2 or 3 days. Stupid little shit like drawing an individual frame and an animation probably takes about, you know, even that can take several days. You know, it depends on how complicated the movement is. But the individual image itself could take no more than like 15 minutes, or it could take 2 hours. It just depends. It's one of those things where it's a image-to-image thing. There's no possible way that I can just give a flat answer, which is kind of frustrating, but yeah, that's the nature of it. But usually, I guess, I kind of stick around the range of about, like, for fully colored things, probably about 8 to 10 hours, I guess, is probably the limit that I'll usually go to. Kind of want to stop around this point. Maybe I can get away with adding a little bit more. This might be too much, though. Even if I erase this... Oh, Lord. Even if I erase this down, because I really wanted to push for strong lighting in this one. By the way, sorry for those P's, but my... whatever they call this... What are these called? I forgot about it. The thing that makes it so that you don't shoot air into the microphone. Huh, can't think of it off the top of my head. Well, I feel like an idiot. But anyways, it doesn't work too well. Maybe it's one of those things that I'll upgrade in the future, I have no idea. Lighting might be a little bit too much on this. I think I'm going to tone down a little bit. Is it okay? I don't know, I kind of wanted it to be stronger. I'll think about it later. I'll think about it on export. Anyways, let's get one more question, and then I guess I'll stop it here. But again, I'll will be, from now on, I'll be answering your questions that you leave in the comments, assuming that you even see these. I don't know how easy it is for you guys to track these videos as they release on Patreon. I imagine it'll get a bit more streamlined in the future. Okay, Plague, please, porn. Do porn. No, no porn. Stopping by to say I discovered Prequel thanks to you. Go check out Prequel. PrequelAdventures.com. Go check out Kazarod's creepy story about a female Khajiit on her prequel to the Oblivion and adventure, Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Congratulations on the release, or just upload, I guess, of your Dark Souls video. This was old. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a Plague video without getting Content ID flagged. Did they Content ID me for the Van Halen song clip? No, they didn't, actually, amazingly enough. The only video that actually had been completely flagged was the Mario one, Mario Farce, because of that Tupac song at the end, which actually wasn't even a straight-up just Tupac song. There was actually an instrumental version of that song. What was the name of that one? Thug Mansion, that's what it was. Really liked that song. I've been listening the shit out of Staring Through My Rear View by Tupac lately. Can't stop listening to it. Would you rather have a series, anime, TV show, comic, doesn't matter, that ends right when it's getting good, or one that drags on for far too long and becomes boring? Should it end... Should it actually... In other words, should it actually realize the... should it culminate in the idea that it was trying to make, but just keep going forever, or should it kind of just stop and peter out without actually realizing its full potential? I don't know. It's sort of like asking, would you that doesn't look right at all. Would you rather have a someone that produces amazing content but ends up becoming a joke or something and ends up ruining their life, or someone that is just kind of good for a little while before they kind of just fade off and are forgotten by everyone? There's ups and downs to both of them, I guess. I guess I would rather it just keep going and end up kind of ruining itself, because at least there's still that fragment that's already done that you can look back on as its own content, and the rest of it is just sort of this acknowledgement of, yeah, they kept going because it was making them money, or something like that. So I guess that's what I would want. I would rather see someone keep going too long rather than not finish, you know, what they started. By the way, this sort of what I'm doing here, this is operating on a luminosity layer, by the way. I could change it to overlay, but obviously that creates a different effect, which kind of looks better in a way. I don't know. I'll figure it out later. But this sort of thing looks way better on skin than it does anything else. Oh, that's kind of irritating. Especially with the overlay looks better on the skin in a way, but the luminosity shows up better on everything else. And I could just lower the opacity down on this, but it doesn't look quite right, because then you can see the individual brush strokes a little bit too strongly. Maybe I will keep it to overlay. I'm not sure. I'll think about it later. Okay, anyways. Well, you overpost more stuff with your cats. We're trying to get rid of those, because they are getting out of control. Because normally they kind of just wander off and just go their own way, or they die somehow and we find them, you know, someplace later and we can't figure out how they die. I don't know. Because they're farm animals, you know, that's just the way it is. But they have not been doing that for us lately. They've been surviving because we've been taking too good of care of them. Plus, we don't really do much farm-related stuff around here anymore. So it's pretty safe to live here now, much to my chagrin. It's nothing like a good work environment that threatens your life. It really keeps you on your toes. I don't want that. That's stupid. Get rid of that. I'll leave a little bit. Will I be doing any more Trifusions? Obviously I will be. Are you really crude? Yes, I am. Plague, you're my hero. Thank you. Why cats? Because I really like cats. I was isolated as a child, and we had a bunch of cats at our old house, and they were basically my only friends, so maybe that's where it comes from. I don't know. Monsieur Plague following... Get off, get off. Inquiring about the subject of more breasts. That is all. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to worry about too much. I mean, here you go. Here they are. Zoomed in a little bit too much. It'll probably be exported about this range right here. So that's what it's going to end up looking like. You'll probably see. Maybe I'll host this to Tumblr later. I don't know. Or I may never release commissions at all. In which case, this will be the only time that you ever see this. Okay, one more question. Are there any fighting games you like or love? Obviously, I do not play fighting games. The only ones that I actually own are Skullgirls and King of Fighters 13. Skullgirls really irritates the shit out of me because I found its inputs to be really, really awkward. Because for some reason the timing on the inputs is really bizarre. Like I'm doing them too quickly or something. It's, you know, I can't really handle it. And King of Fighters just kind of makes me... Because that's a really good game. If you're into fighters and you have, for some reason, have never played it, you should play that game. That's a really good game. Yeah, I mean, even I can tell that. Her eye's a little bit too big. But I wouldn't say that they're my favorite games. I only have like 5 hours into both of them. And those 5 hours are mainly me just trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing. That's the problem with fighting games. Like, I don't know how to perform the inputs. And of course, I've discussed this with Wooly ad nauseum, that a lot of fighting games is having people around that will be able to, like, the thing, like, this is how it worked whenever I first started playing fighting games. And this is back, like, in, like, Mortal Kombat 1. Like, back in elementary school for me. All the kids would have their favorite guy. And of that favorite guy, they would usually know one move. You know, just one. Oh, goodness. They would know one fucking move with this thing. And, left a little bit of skin here. They would know one move of this guy, and that would be it. So, whenever you fought them, you know, they would just kind of piddle around spamming buttons, and then they like throw a scorpion spear, and that was the only thing that they could do. And all the kids were like this. And, oh, so many of these little lost things. And, that's kind of just how you learn to play fighting games. Is you pick up on that one thing that you can do, and you play with people around the same skill level, and you just keep doing it until you learn more and more stuff. And you see someone use a new thing, and you're like, oh, how'd you do that? And they say, oh, I did this command. And you say, well, I will also learn to do this. Or you will try that input on your character, and it works, and you say, oh, this is a new thing that I know. And you add it to your vast library of 2 skills that you can do. And the problem with me is that, like, I don't have a bunch of 5-year-old or, you know, whatever. What age were we? Like 11 or something? I have no idea. I don't have a bunch of 10-year-old kids to beat the shit out of to learn. Like, if I start to learn, I'm in that shit right there with all the people that know how to play the game religiously. So there's no entry point. And that's the problem with fighting games, in my opinion. Is there's so much focus on the core players that, you know, keep the genre, that genre alive, that it excludes everyone else, and it makes it very hard to have a entry point into the franchise. Okay. But I guess I will leave it at that. Huh, how come it's not... Does it not show up on that? Huh, that's weird. Some colors doing this sort of trick, they don't really work out too well. Maybe I can get an extra in here. Anyways, you guys just leave your comments in the description and whatnot below. Of course, I'll try to make sure that everyone sees these. Since they are unlisted, technically... Not everyone... Huh, why is it doing that? I guess I'll just leave it be. Reds don't really blend that well. I'll just have to use the... Actually, this is an extra letter. What the fuck am I doing? I'll do this. I'll drop down and do it this way. Okay, that's better. No, no. This? Do it this way? Okay, that's better. Alright, but because it's unlisted... You won't necessarily be the only people in there. I'm sure someone will somehow get a hold of the link and comment or whatever. But yeah, I'm not really that concerned about it. I'm not trying to start like a little private club or anything. But this is just for you guys. I think I'll go down into its layer specifically. It's over in here in the... I mean, look at all this mess. Have layers for everything, which usually is not a great idea. It's funny that this is actually a better drawing than my Trifusion series that I've been doing. Oh, well. Anyways, just leave your shit in the comment below. I'll try to get a hold of it. Again, I'm trying to not make these, oh, you gotta be entertaining or nah, I'm not gonna do that. This is just how I would act on stream, so this is kind of an opportunity for me to sort of relax at the same time, and for you guys to get anything answered that you would want to have answered. But I guess I'll stop this now and go eat some Funyuns. Fuck yeah, Funyuns. Aren't those great? Really bad cost ratio on those things, though. They're so fucking expensive. Like, I know, what is the rate on those? It's like $3 per ounce or something. I don't know, it's something crazy. Anyways, I'll shut up now. Again, leave your comments, blah, 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 and boobies! I'll see you guys later.